All right, so 5 reasons to utilize a proper CRM. Number one, better customer insights. You know what, you can use your CRM to collect a bunch of information about your customer over time. Buying history, personal choices, their family details are all collected and stored in a database. And you know what, once you've put this all together, you can actually build a really healthy relationship with this customer because now you know who they are and what they like. Number two, increased conversions. A CRM will help you pinpoint in detail your advertising strategies to potential dormant or what can be considered almost dead leads. Bring them back into the funnel and get them converted. Three, a personalized experience. With a CRM, because you have the information for this customer, you can detail very specific advertising to that person. Potentially they've come in, they want to talk about, let's say, a brand new Corvette. Now you can personalize Corvette advertisement directly for them with their name to make them feel important and get them in the dealership. Four, assists in cross-selling. Money is not just made by selling new and used vehicles. We have to utilize all the other departments within the dealership. A CRM can actually help you tap in to some of these customers, let's say, who have bought new vehicles from you but aren't getting service done. Utilize your CRM, get some cross-selling done, and now we try to pull in more profit and overall sales market from your, let's say, parts and service, as well as with your new vehicle sales. Five, and a very important one, ensure accountability from your sales, parts, service staff. One thing we want to make sure that, especially on the sales side, is that you don't lose leads. You don't let things go dormant. And we all know it can happen with some salespeople. They just don't keep things organized, and they can lose out on a lot of sales. CRM will help prevent that when utilized properly. Make sure that your salespeople, as well as others in the dealership, are accountable for their actions and what they've committed to do, and they pull through with it, and through that generate more sales and more profit. So I think there's a few things that a CRM really needs to do for a dealer. You want to not only keep the operations, as we just mentioned, as streamlined and efficient as possible within the dealership, but the big part of it is to also build a consumer confidence in the dealership. That's going to result in customer retention. Again, an example, I guess, to kind of maybe think about this is that think of the dealership as like going to the doctor's office. So if I'm going to go to my family doctor I've been to for 15 years, and when I get there, they have no records of anything. No records for any visit I've ever made, no records from maybe any surgeries I've had, any meetings with specialists or scans or x-rays, no records of my shots, my immunizations that I've had, as well as any conversation that's gone back and forth via email, text, phone call with maybe different receptionists over the years or different nurses over the years. And they don't even have my medical history or my medical family history. I'm not going to have a lot of confidence every time I go back to this doctor because it's basically like starting from scratch every time. They're all running around asking the same questions, trying to figure out who really am I and what are my needs and how do I fit into everything. I feel like if a dealership is not utilizing a CRM properly, it's going to be the same experience for a customer. I mean, if a customer's coming in and it's basically, I may have bought 2-3 vehicles here, but you've no tracing of really what I've purchased unless you go through some paper. It's the sales people I'm talking with now have no communication with past salespeople. They have no idea what my likes are or dislikes are, even though we've been through this. You don't have my service records, so you don't know what work's been done on the vehicle. So if I'm coming in every time and you're asking, when was your last oil change? Yet I've done them all here. It's going to really throw me off, and it's going to make me want to start to look somewhere else. A CRM helps eliminate this. Now when I bring, let's say, my current Blazer into my local GM dealership, they don't have to ask me nearly any questions. I know I can bring it in there. They have all my service records. They have all the communication that's ever gone back and forth. If there were issues, they weren't issues. And as well as if I've all of a sudden I bring it in there, they look to their CRM and they notice I have a tendency to bring my leases back in early to upgrade. They may now have a salesperson even come to approach me, say, hey, listen, I know you've done this in the past. We have a couple new really good vehicles maybe available or some special rates. While your vehicle's being serviced, do you want to come and sit down with me and we can look and see if maybe we can come up with something great to get you into a new vehicle this week. You know what? That would just give me a great feeling that they actually care, they understand who I am. And that's because the CRM keeps all of these different things organized, which makes it possible. If you're not utilizing a proper CRM, you're just throwing darts. So I think that is a really key thing we need to do is keep our every keep everything within the dealership as streamlined as possible, and by doing that, make our customers understand that we truly do care about them, who they are individually, and are going to tune our service and the way we communicate with them to their preferences. And at the end of the day, that is what's going to keep your sales coming in from that customer, but also make sure that when they move into their next vehicle, or they need another one, or they even want to reference someone, they've had the experience where they're going to come back and see you again, again, and again.